Welcome to Around the Table with Dan and Ann. It's a Wednesday, and that for us, that is a hump day.
Hump day.
I think that's the only time we got that right.
Oh, I'm turning down my, sorry.
Welcome to Around the Table.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
We hope you're happy, healthy, and whatever.
Yes, and for the next hour, this is your kickstart.
Kickstart?
For the day, yeah.
Okay, I can do a kickstart.
If you need kicking, just let us know.
I kickstarted right in this morning with vacuuming a little.
A little bit.
a little,
got a little
housekeeping chore.
Got a little pregame show of that.
You bet. Hey.
Earlier, yeah.
Hey, you.
Yeah.
Okay, I have some PSAs, and I'm gonna get them out of the way. But first of all, my personal PSA, if it's foggy like it is this morning, or if it's raining, isn't the rule of thumb or law? I don't know if it's a law to turn your headlights on. Well, the people that don't irritate the padookie out of me.
Coming or going?
What do you mean?
Coming at you or going away?
No, they were coming
in
at
front
me.
of you. Okay.
And there was people in front of me, both.
Right.
But you know, the fog is so thick. I was trying to pull out onto 7 North, out by where I live, and it was so thick I couldn't really see. And I'll be danged, I hauled my butt out there, and guess what? There was a car with no headlights. That could have been an accident waiting to happen. It was an accident waiting to happen, but it didn't happen, thankfully. But anyway,
it is. I think the law is when you're driving and it's wet, if you have to turn your windshield wipers on, then you have to have.
Okay, you don't have to turn your windshield wipers on necessarily in the fog, but it's common sense, people. People can't see you in the fog.
Here's the law. When to turn your headlights on. After sunset and before sunrise, turn on your headlights 30 minutes after the sunset until 30 minutes before sunrise.
Do yours automatically do it?
Yeah.
Mine does too.
When it's raining, turn on your headlights when your windshield wipers are on.
Right. I knew that.
And if they're intermittent, don't turn your lights off and then back on. If the wipers are any mode.
Any motion in your wipers at all, please.
Yeah. When visibility is low, turn on your headlights when you can't see clearly 500 feet ahead of you.
Okay.
Okay. Here's some other headlight requirements. Every vehicle except motorcycles must have at least 2 headlights on, one on each side, one on the front of the vehicle. Headlights must be at a height of 24 to 54 inches from the center of the headlight.
Wow.
Okay. And then headlights must be free of any coatings or coverings that reduce their brightness.
There you go.
Like
there's your rule.
Mud or bird poo or whatever.
You know, I don't know what I do about it, except I have to be extra vigilant because, it doesn't always, people don't always adhere to that.
Do you know what 500 feet is?
How far is 500 feet? Give me something I can visualize.
I don't know.
What's 100 feet?
I think 100 feet is when you have to turn your signal on to turn right or left.
No, I mean how far? Like, give me an estimation what 500 feet would look like.
Probably 5 of these buildings.
Okay.
Probably from here to halfway down.
Okay, that tells me what I need to know.
Like that.
This car was closer than that.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So,
okay, there's my PSA. Please turn on your lights.
I don't think if a law enforcement pulled them over that they'd just warn them.
They
I would assume. Yeah.
I would like to have pulled them over and warned them myself. But I thought perhaps that was out of my
I got behind somebody yesterday.
Expertise.
I got behind somebody yesterday, and I think they were elderly. They looked elderly. And they were going from inside the turn lane, and then they would go over outside the white lane on the right side.
Yeah.
And it wasn't back and forth quickly, but it was slow enough. And
right.
like, are you taking naps in between?
Surely they're not texting. You know what I mean?
No, they weren't texting.
Okay.
I'm sure that they were, just
probably
a little
visiting or just
no, I think they were
just
older and they just like I'm not correcting.
Your reflexes are not as good.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
There's that.
And do you think that people should have to do a requirement to update their license at some point? Maybe
You
take
know,
a
I
driving
mentioned
test.
that, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's not a good idea to do that. Now, I was going to do that because I changed insurance companies, and they require, some kind of safe driver thing. But I have a beacon in my car that can tell me how I'm driving. Well, I don't like it because it said needs improvement on about every frickin' thing.
Yeah, I have a habit of driving too far on the left, close to the center.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of
the other way.
I don't know
in
why.
The center.
I've always done that.
Mine is braking and starting. But, if you're coming out in an intersection and there's traffic and you want to get out there, you got to floor it. I mean, you got to get out there. Yeah. You don't just nilly-willy around about it or you'll get hit. So
now, are you a 1-foot operator or a 2-foot operator?
1.
Okay. My mom was a 2-footer.
Well, she's probably used to a standard.
No. She kept her automatic. Oh. She'd never drove a standard, but she would keep her left foot on the brake all the time and then back and forth, and it was constantly this.
See, I couldn't do that. That drove me crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another PSA.
Okay.
Text my gov. Center Street between Prospect and Argyle Street will be closed today for a sewer repair. So just be aware of that. Also, bring a friend for free on Fridays starts in February, and that's at Creekside.
Oh, bring a friend Friday.
So if you have a membership, then you can bring a friend for free and let them try it out. And maybe, give them a little introduction into Creekside and all that it offers. One more thing. February, here's some of the top astronomical events. So if you're a stargazer, we've already had the triple conjunction on February 1st, which was Venus, Moon, and Saturn. February 8th will be I don't know how you say it, Centaurid meteor shower on February 8th, so you'll be able to see a meteor shower if it's not cloudy. February 12th is full snow moon. 16th is Venus at peak brightness. So if you've been seeing Venus in the sky, it will be at its peak brightness on the 16th. And February 20th, grand alignment of Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, Venus, Saturn, and Mercury will begin.
We need to get...
And then it meets Saturn on the 25th.
Okay. We need to get Tut Campbell in here. Tut Campbell.
I think that would be interesting. Yeah. You need to work on that.
Yeah, I think I'll contact him.
We actually have some, I don't know.
Observatories. Yeah. It's Whispering Pine Observatories, south of Harrison. Okay. And he has like 4 or 5 of these domes that's got...
maybe you should take us out there.
Telescopes out. Well, yeah, go out there, I'm sure.
That's a cool. That'd be, yeah.
He told me one time. He said, if you got a group of kids, bring them out.
I'm a kid.
I know that where you can get a birth certificate too.
Huh?
Our guest yesterday said that they could get you a birth certificate. You remember that?
I did. I did. Little Rosie was. Yeah, he was giving us some intel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
You want to go over?
Speaking of fog.
Okay.
Today is a slight chance of drizzle, which it is drizzly out there.
They didn't tell us about this yesterday.
No, they did not. Then a slight chance of rain between 9 and 10. So it may be...
Should be raining now.
It would be raining now if that's the case. Widespread dense fog before 1 p.m. We all experienced that if we'd been outside. Then patchy dense fog after 5 p.m. Otherwise mostly cloudy with a high of 61. Chance of precipitation is only 20%. Then tonight patchy fog before 11 p.m. with a low of 57. Thursday's patchy fog again before 9 a.m. So turn on your headlights, please, and thank you. Otherwise, a high of 69. Winds could gust up to 20 miles per hour Thursday night. Mostly cloudy with a low of 42. And then Friday, a 20% chance of showers. Mostly cloudy with a high of 52. And Friday night, mostly cloudy. Temperatures rising to 51. Let me stop right there.
Okay.
This has no sun in the forecast.
No sun.
This child is hurting.
You need some sun.
I need sun. Okay, go ahead.
Well, let's see. Saturday it's going to be partly sunny, so you need to jump from cloud to cloud to get that sun. High near 75 degrees. Overnight low 31. Sunday high 44. Overnight low is 29 degrees. Ooh. Monday, I forgot to mention that there might be a 20% chance of showers on Sunday night. Monday, chance of snow. 30%, high near 42. I don't know how it's going to snow with 42 degrees.
I don't either, but they keep saying that something may be moving in, so we'll see.
Monday night, 70% chance of precipitation. Could be rain, but it could be some sleet or snow because it looks like it's going to be low of 29 degrees. And then chance of rain and snow Tuesday, 50% chance, high 40.
Well, and KY3 is calling for 60% on Tuesday.
Yeah, what do they know?
Yeah, what do they know?
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be a dreary, gross day today, I think, with this being the typical weather. And I wore yellow so that I would at least feel like sunshine because I need sunshine. Okay, that is all.
Maybe you can get some vitamin D out of that shirt. Okay, let's do our topic to ponder. This week's topics to ponder is related to food and health.
Okay.
And we'll see what we got.
Get up, get moving, get those thinking caps on. It's time to ponder this topic.
You want to, or you want me to?
What are your thoughts about claims that America's nutrition standards are safe or What are your thoughts about claims that Americans' nutrition standards are safe or unhealthy for us? What are my thoughts? I think they're very unhealthy.
Okay.
I think that I don't know that was always the intent, but I think with the preservatives and that type of stuff, they want it to be able to last longer, shelf life or whatever. That they're poisoning it.
Yeah. They enacted this policy to put nutrition guidelines on each product that you buy.
That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, and that's fine, and it should guide you, and it does me. It helps me quite a bit. But I don't think it really shows health at all.
Yeah, it depends. I guess it depends on your definition of health. Does that mean eating crappy food full of crap?
Yeah.
I guess then you're healthy.
Well, I mean, potato chips it's almost all carbs.
Let me just get on my high horse. Right?
Yeah.
What is that? We heard people talking.
Hear people talking there.
We couldn't see anybody talking.
Somebody's trying to get a word in edgewise.
I guess so.
Anyway.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, what are your thoughts about claims that America's nutrition standards are safe or unhealthy for us? Are they safe or are they unhealthy for us?
Across the board, we've had some response back and forth, but I think that we are pretty well in agreement. They're not the healthiest they could be.
Maybe we'll get a kickstart on nutritional standards being changed here pretty soon. So that'll be good for everybody.
We can only hope that things will change with that, but yeah. Okay.
On to our health segment. It's coming up now.
We're doomed to repeat ourselves, so let's find out what happened today in history.
Health segment. That's what you said.
Did I really? I thought I said topic. No.
Nope.
You're right.
It's all right, people. We love it. We fly by the seat of our pants.
If I can't squeeze a health-related topic out of this first one, we're in big trouble.
85% of the people not only give up their property year after year, but they go further and further and further into economic slavery.
Wow.
There you go. Economic slavery. Sounds like a health issue to me.
91 years ago, the Kingfish Huey Long of Louisiana delivered a populist address that came to be known as his Share the Wealth speech. Not the health, but the wealth. Okay.
Close.
Yeah.
Es un juicio político.
We're going to show that this is a political trial, that they have no proof, that they have no reality to it.
37 years ago, back in 1988, the federal government indicted Panamanian dictator Manuel Noriega for bribery and drug trafficking. Speaking through an interpreter, Noriega said the charges were a farce. Noriega was captured after American troops invaded Panama the previous December and was convicted in a federal trial and sentenced to prison.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Miss Nowak, did you intend to murder Miss Gibson?
Is there anything you'd like to say to kids who all look up to you?
Do you have anything to say to your family?
Sorry at all for what happened?
5 years. Sorry for what happened. That's not on. I don't know where that is.
Which one is that?
I have no idea.
That was number 4. I'm sorry.
Okay, but
Wait a minute.
it didn't end with the same thing.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just going to read this one. 5 years ago, the Senate voted to acquit. Where am I at?
I think you're on
I'm sorry.
number 3.
I'm sorry. Apologies. 18 years ago, NASA astronaut Lisa Nowick was arrested in Orlando, accused of trying to kidnap a perceived rival for the affections of a space shuttle pilot.
What?
Reporters were waiting when she went to court 2 days later.
I think I very vaguely remember that.
Wow, I don't remember anything about that.
These astronauts.
We've completed it. We've listened to the arguments. We've voted. It's in the rearview mirror.
5 years ago today, the Senate voted to acquit President Trump, ending the third presidential impeachment trial in American history. Senator Minority Leader Mitch McConnell criticized the Democratic-led effort. Trump was impeached a second time 11 months later, but that one did nothing either. So,
yeah.
And then the next one.
It worked out. We went through hell unfairly, did nothing wrong.
And there was Donald Trump speaking on that same subject about the impeachment.
Okay, and this was 2 years ago. Beyonce won her 32nd Grammy to become the most decorated artist in the history of the award. And the hit song that was playing during that event was Cuff It.
Have you listened to Cowboy, whatever, her country music?
No, is
stuff?
it good or not?
I don't know. I haven't listened to
I
it.
have not listened to it.
I just couldn't wrap my head around Beyonce doing country.
Well, she won a Grammy for that, too.
I know, for the whole album. And
Yeah.
I'm not, I don't know. But
I
anyway.
wonder if she had twang.
I don't see her doing a
Bardy-bardy-boo.
twang, but what do
Okay.
I know? Okay.
If we make it that far, the kids and I are in danger.
Laura Linney was born this day in 1964. She's 61. Her credits include a drug cartel money launderer in the series Ozark.
God's turning people into insect monsters, Beth. I'm the one beating them to death. Thank me.
This is a voice actor. It's a birthday cut. Voice actor, artist, and comedian Chris Parnell was born on this day back in 1967. He's 58 today. He is best known for his role as Jerry Smith on the Adult Swim Sci-Fi Channel series Rick and Morty.
Okay, I don't think I can do the next one.
No,
Bobby Brown was born this day in 1969. He's 56. Brown first broke out as a member of the group New Edition. Then he carved out a successful solo career and became a tabloid darling when he married Whitney Houston and wound up on A Few Police Blotters. Okay.
Okay. And then another birthday cut. Here is country singer Sarah Evans was born on this day in 1971, 54 today. Her hits include A Little Bit Stronger.
Also, actor and singer Darren Criss was born this date in 1987, making him 38. He played Blaine Anderson on Glee.
And then our last birthday cut is keyboardist Kyle Simmons from the rock group Bastille. He was born on this day in 1988, 37 years old today. And he had a hit called Pompeii.
Okay. Pompeii.
Bob Brown is going to be our guest coming up. He's with Carter Grace Foundation, and he's eagerly waiting his chance to come on.
He is.
He's like the guy on deck.
He is.
He's practicing his swing, and he'll be swinging away in just a few minutes. We'll be right back. You're listening and watching Around the Table with Dan and Ann. Stay with us. And welcome back to Around the Table. We have a recurring guest in the studio, which we always love seeing. Bob Brown is here from Carter Grace Foundation, and we was talking about the weather outside. And do you get up every morning excited, or do you just are you a drudgery type person? I put you on the spot.
No,
there,
but I am a creature of habit. You know, I really am a creature of habit. I was teaching someone the other day. I said, if you follow me 1 week, you could snuff me out pretty easy because I don't change. I mean, if you needed to knock me off, it'd be pretty easy to do. Just follow me 1 week. I mean, my life doesn't change. But I don't know. I do wake up excited to see what the day holds and, you know, look forward to
It's a new day.
Yeah, it is. You know, new opportunities. So, yeah, I guess on that part of it, yeah.
All right.
I mean, subject to change depending on what falls out from there.
Well, you can't.
But I think all of us are that way, I believe, right?
Right, that's right.
Well, that's good.
So,
Well,
go ahead.
No.
Well, you're with Carter Grace Foundation,
Yes, ma'am.
and y'all always have, you have fundraising efforts going on and all kinds of things. But briefly, tell us again what Carter Grace does, and then you can talk to us and updates on.
Okay, the
that
Carter Grace
organization.
Foundation was established about 10 years ago by some local business owners that decided they wanted to try to help in this community. So out of their own resources, they give to this community in a variety of ways. They believe that children, families, people, and I've used the phrase marginalized or disenfranchised, that are in some sort of crisis, they really want to stand in the gap for those people. That was their heart. And I've been blessed. In fact, if I can say this, I just celebrated my third year anniversary with them the other day, and
Well,
it has just
congratulations.
And I was thinking about that on the drive here. You know, some people have been at a job 3 weeks and it feels like 3 years, but for me, I've been with this 3 years and it feels like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It's just I hope I can do this the rest of my natural life, but it's been fantastic. And so what they do is they use their resources to try to fill voids that are out there in the public, and the only way that you can do that is to know what the needs are. You can't meet a need if you don't know what the need is.
Right.
And so that has, in the last 3 years, grown to the degree that now not only do we have established ministries, opportunities, organizations that we partner with, we receive calls all the time from either individuals or groups of people or organizations that are needing our help. And so what you do then is you look at your budget, you try to see where this can fit into the budget. I try not to say no. In fact, when I talked to the man just yesterday, called from a area church that they try to put together a food bank, a blessing box, if you will, and they have a shortfall and not able to do that. And I said, well, I'm not going to say we will partner with you on a monthly basis, but I am going to tell you that we will help you, this time for sure. So that's
what they do. That's
yes, ma'am.
their
That's
mission.
it. Yeah, it's just a local nonprofit that's trying to be, the eyes and the ears out there to find needs and meet those needs. So.
Well, you don't necessarily have a framework of what the need is. You just say this person has a need or this organization has a need, and you try to fill that.
Absolutely, Dan. I think that's the biggest key, and I think I don't want to go over scorched earth here, but I think that what the thing is we don't build fences. If there's fences built around the Carter Grace Foundation, we do it. But whatever a need is, and we don't put them in a box. Like you said, if it's a specific need, we look at it. If it's something that we believe we can help them with, we will meet that need, whatever it looks like. Okay? So, but there are times that we can't meet a need. There are times that either the need is maybe too great for us, or maybe it's in an arena that we don't feel that would be best for the Carter Grace Foundation to do that. And that's not a judge of any character.
You have to be,
there is
I
a
don't know what the
stewardship
word is, but
responsibility
yeah,
on my
yeah,
part,
yeah.
and I'm culpable for what the Carter Grace Foundation does. I am responsible for the resources that they entrust to me, and I want to do the very best that I can with that. And so with that being said, I try not to make any knee-jerk reactions either way. I try never to say no too quick or yes too quick.
Yeah.
I try to vet that, and then sometimes I've had to say, I'll get back with you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think there's nothing wrong with that.
And we do that, and that way. But we do try, if someone calls and we see the need is a legitimate need, we certainly try to do what we can. We may not be able to meet the entirety of the need, but even if we can come in part, we'd like to.
Do you ever have a need where it's just a one-off? Like, I need this is what I need right now, but I don't need you anytime after that.
Yes, sir. In fact, I was doing some mental math this morning on that, and if we look at the church that called yesterday, the gentleman from the church yesterday, that would put us up to probably about 15 different organizations, groups, schools, ministries, or something in the month of February. but 2 or 3 of those will be a one-off. It'll be
Okay.
maybe
One time
one time I could really need your help
Mm-hmm.
here.
Yeah.
And then I've told them, though, I said, I'm not saying that we can't come along beside you again, but
Mm-hmm.
again, like I said, I'm not going to say we are going to establish a working partnership and
Right.
monthly relationship
Right.
with
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
But yes, sir, we do have that.
Okay.
And a lot of those are more individual than they are organizational
Group or-
corporations.
or
Yeah, like it's
okay.
someone that said, well, case in point, I got a call from an organization last week, I believe it was, and we partner with this organization on a monthly basis. But she said that she had gotten a call from a doctor that a 13-year-old girl and her mom and dad, their house burned to the ground,
Mm-hmm.
lost everything, no one was hurt, but wondered if that's something Carter Grace would be able to help with. I took a check up there within an hour, you know, and
Okay.
So
was
the answer
grateful.
is yes.
Yes. Well, and it's like I said, you know, that's something we certainly will do. Now, again, you don't sit around waiting for that to happen.
Right,
Right.
right.
But when it does, you want to be on the ready to do something
Yeah.
about it. But yeah, that would be more what I would call a one-off.
Yeah.
You know, on something like
A-
that.
And I'm sure things happen where you just fulfilled a need and your funds may be low, and then another need comes in behind that.
That's incredible you say that. And, you know, I think in 3 years, which would be 36 months, I think I've been over budget. And let me give you a caveat.
Okay.
Only
Okay.
twice. But one of them was to put together the golf tournament, which
Okay.
ended up making
Probably paid it back.
Yeah,
$17,000 on the golf
Right.
tournament. And the other one was at Christmas, which is where we ended up getting, and I've got a beautiful story. I can tell you that here in just a moment. You know, we ended up getting enough funds back on that pretty much there was nothing taken out of the Carter Grace budget to buy Christmas gifts for all those kids.
That's
so
amazing.
even though we were
Yeah, yeah.
over budget theoretically, and again, I must say, my feet have never been held to the fire on the budget. Okay, I do want to say that,
Yeah.
but I want to be sensitive
But you vet that very well.
Yes,
you know
well,
what I mean?
you know, I try to, because what you just have to do is you just have to look at every situation individually. You know, what does this organization need this month? Is that going to be and I'll throw numbers, is that going to be a $250 price point this month or a $500 price point? Well, if it's $5, then that's $250 that you don't have over
Right,
here.
right,
You know,
yeah,
so you
right.
just, it's moving the pieces on the chessboard.
Right, right.
And I'm sure there's a lot more need than money.
Yes, sir.
A lot more
Yes,
need
sir.
than
There's-
money.
But they have been so generous. I can't even begin to say, you know, but yes, sir, there would be no way. I mean, if you looked at the totality of it, the massive amount of need that there is, even if we come along at the number that we do, there's still so much more out there.
How much of this do you feel is divine guidance?
Well,
The
for me,
coordination of everything.
You know, I would go back to look at it as in the very early on part of this. Of course, I had been in pulpit ministry for 24 years and stepped away and was needing another path in life. And I had talked to my bosses and I said, well, look, I'm not going to go in heavy-handed with this, but I can't betray who I am. And I hope you would understand that. In other words, I've had people to ask me, you know, even before I got back in the pulpit, but, you know, where do you preach or where's your church? And I would point to my shirt and say, I guess right here, you know, the Carter Grace Foundation.
Well, it is a ministry.
Yes. and so I've had people that would ask me if I would pray with them, you know, whenever, you know, and of course I want to be able to do that. Now, again, we don't go in there being a bully pulpit or something of that nature, but we want by extension for it to be understood what we're trying to do.
You are
here.
showing God's heart through what you do.
Well, I would hope so, and I would hope they would understand our heart. Now, that's the first thing I try to tell them. If I have to say no, the first thing I say is, please hear my heart in this. That's what I actually say. Would you please hear my heart?
Because I'm sure it's heartbreaking not to be able to help everybody.
It is. That's the part that grieves me, is to not. But then you also know that not every need that comes across your desk is a legitimate need.
Right.
Yeah.
Or even an immediate.
Yeah. Well, and you look at that, part of our principles are to love, listen, lift, and launch. And the last principle to launch would mean that you're trying to help someone to take the next step in their life. Well, they need to be willing to do that part too.
Well, yes, I would agree with that.
You know, I mean, to a degree. Now, there's some that can't. Some of them are in a place physically. They're
But
at a
that's
place.
different.
Yes, and we try to understand that, and we
Right.
know that. But when you can kind of read the tea leaves,
Yeah.
you have to be careful. And again, I don't mean this in any cruel way, but when you look at it and the actual just number of things that come across your desk, you know, and you're, you know, yes, here, okay, that's a maybe. I'll get it back a hold of him. And like you said, you just have to say, you know, I want to make sure I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah.
So what's going on now with Carter Grace?
Man, it.
Besides,
let
I
me
mean,
give
we
you
know,
a.
but I mean,
I
is there
would say
specific?
a 60-second recap, but you know I'm lying
Oh,
on that. So okay,
golly.
let me give you the Thanksgiving and the Christmas real quick in a nutshell.
Yes.
Okay. This was our third Thanksgiving outreach. We had streamlined the operation. Some men came to me the day before, or asking me about cooking the turkeys the day before. We'd always had a little bit of a hold up on that. We were able to serve the meals and stuff, but it took a longer period of time because those turkeys just don't cook very fast.
Sure.
So they came to me, cooked the birds the day before. We were able to serve like 600 hot prepared
Wow.
meals in 70 minutes, in an hour and 10
That's
minutes.
amazing.
We were able to open the gates, as I call it, to let the cars come through. There was never a stoppage. And I told those people, you did a fantastic job. This could not have been done without you. They did magnificent. It was so awesome. We still ended up serving about the same number total as we had the year before, but it was so much more streamlined. So you move from that. Thanksgiving was about as late as it could be in the calendar, and then Christmas was still going to be on the 25th. So this year we did, year one was 180 students. Year two was 240 students. This year was almost 300 students that we bought gifts for. Now, that means you buy the gifts, you wrap the gifts, you deliver them,
right.
and your time frame is shrunk. But I've got to share something that it's just burning in my spirit on this, okay? So from Thanksgiving, right after Thanksgiving, of course, I was on the horse trying to get those gifts, you know, get them, because we had 10 area schools. Seriously, we had 10 area schools, 4 north, 4 south, and then 2 right here in Harrison that we were going to get these gifts to. Well, the day after Thanksgiving, a man came up to me and he said that he knew what the Carter Grace Foundation was and wanted to know if we would take a donation. I said, well, we don't solicit donations other than the golf tournament. We do go out and do that. He said, well, I'd like to give something. I go, okay, so he goes and he comes back and he gives me one of those little paper envelopes like they give you at the bank, you know, and it's full. He hands it to me. It's $2,000 cash.
Wow.
Okay. A local business. Hey, Bob, don't leave. We got something for you. $1,000 check.
Wow.
A man that I know from the public, he had seen me a couple different places, asked me at the post office how things were going. I said, man, it's going great. Well, my wife and I'd like to give a little donation, $500 check.
You know, people have a heart to give.
Yeah.
And so there are 5 stores. A church gave $200, but my favorite one, this is going to sound bad. There was a young lady that was in the Alpena East program where I went and spoke, okay? She was a part of our wrapping station this year. The whole class came and helped wrap the gifts for the outreach. And she had told me, she said, I did my own fundraiser for the Carter Grace Foundation.
Oh.
Wow.
And brought cash. And when she put that money in my hand,
I bet you teared up.
I melted. I'm not joking you.
I would.
did. But that right there, just, okay, to show you, that little bit right there was around $4,000, okay?
Wow.
Now, the thing that my goal was that our golf tournament would be able to fund, you know, Thanksgiving and Christmas. Well, that would have taken about, if you put all that together with the 300 students, you're going to need about $20,000.
Okay.
Well, if you take our golf tournament and those gifts, it was $21,000.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
Do the math.
Wow. You know what? Nothing else needs to be said. We know there's a higher power that.
Well, but that was a huge, because
Yeah.
again, we didn't
Wow.
solicit any of that. That's
Right.
we're not
That's
going out
people's
there.
hearts.
Yes, but those were all given within a 8 to 10 day window, you know,
Wow.
right around there. So,
And you'll do it again this year.
well, and that's interesting because people that have partnered with us in the past at a big number or whatever it was, they didn't come along this past year, but someone else did. So, you know, like someone helped us 2 years ago
Sure.
with a great amount of toys. Well, they didn't come along beside us this year, which was fine. Well, we had someone come with $2,000 cash. So,
Wow.
yeah. Well, where we're looking at now, we're staring down the gun barrel of course, June. That's going to be our golf tournament. And that will be the biggest event on the calendar, at least in the foreseeable future. All right, it'll be normal monthly partnerships. So probably the middle of March, I'll be out there, you know, beating the bushes on this one, trying to do it, because my goal would be, again, that the golf tournament could fund both Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Sure.
And then eventually, honestly, I'm trying to shoot for the moon here. I would like to see the golf tournament raise enough money that it would fund the foundation for a year.
Wow.
Now, I know that's maybe
Oh,
pie in
you
the sky,
golfers
but
that are listening, you better get on board.
no, they came out in full force last year. We were really blessed. They came out big last year. Not only the number of golfers, but the contributions and the sponsorships. It was great. So I don't know if you need to segue to something else, but
I'm going to segue you out of here in a minute, Bob.
Okay. Well, just one more really thanks a lot, Ann. But one more really quick thing that is really neat. The Boone County Special Services, they are starting a healthy lifestyle challenge.
Nice.
And the Carter Grace Foundation is partnering with them, and we're working with them from a nutrition and a exercise standpoint. They have some disadvantages, of course, that many of us don't. Some of them are not mobile, so we've already bought them a little gaming system to where they can do the interactive things on the screen, those that aren't mobile. And so we're working toward that. We're going to talk to them about, again, nutrition. We're going to talk to them about proper sleep. You know, we're really going to work with them, and I am so excited about that.
I think that's great.
Well,
I'm sure they probably haven't been exposed necessarily to any information at depth about that.
And that's what I'm.
And you have to be careful how you do it.
Yes.
To be able to.
Well, and that's what I was telling Amanda. I said, you know, look, we can kind of give them a little framework and let them, you know, operate within that realm. But boy, we're excited. In fact, I go speak to them next Monday. We got the gaming system; they've got it up and running and stuff. So I go speak next Monday afternoon, and we're going to talk and work with that, and we're going to offer them like a reward system, and it's not going to be just based on weight loss and things, but there's some other factors involved. But I'm really excited about this.
That's good.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, and like I said, we got something big that we're going to try to do for Hillcrest for Valentine's Day, but it's just
y'all are on the ground.
I was going to say, it's just boots on the ground, man. That's what it is. It's just boots on the ground. So.
And even if you don't hear about, they're out there working. Just because we don't hear about it doesn't. They are working to better our community. Period.
Yeah,
for people that don't know who you are and would like to connect with you, how do they do that?
How would they do
if you would just simply call my number, it's my personal mobile number. It's 870-302-9354. And I would absolutely love to talk to you if you have questions about Carter Grace. I would hope I would be able to answer them. I mean, you may stump me, I'm sure, but I would answer
get back to you.
To the best of my ability. And if you want to know more about the foundation, certainly give us a call. There is a website and there is a Facebook page. Of course, I'm not media savvy, so I wouldn't.
Carter Grace Foundation.
Yes, but it's the Carter Grace Foundation. If you wanted to look that up. So.
Okay.
Bob, thank you.
And Dan, you guys make this so
you
easy.
Did
Thank
good.
y'all. Thank y'all so much.
Yeah.
Bless
Thank you. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. Stick with us. Oh, my goodness.
Hey.
Yeah?
What? I'm nothing.
Welcome back to Around the Table. If this is the first time you've joined the show,
You've been missing.
You've been missing several years of our interactions.
You know, we're coming on 2 years of being here at KHOZ.
In March,
under
right?
this format. No, it's in the end of February, actually.
End of February. We came here 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Doesn't seem that long.
It really doesn't, but...
Are we going to... Is people going to throw a party for us, or do you know of any kind of
Who
surprise?
do you think is going to do that, Dan?
I don't know. The upper-ups?
You know what I'm thinking? Probably not.
It'd be nice.
I think that sweet little Hillary might say something to us.
Well,
because she loves us.
With that in mind, they should throw us a party at least once a week.
You think?
Yeah.
But make sure your gifts don't come from Temu.
That's right.
Or Shin, because the U.S. Postal Service is no longer accepting and delivering packages from China and Hong Kong with a question mark.
Oh, my gosh.
It's all part of the new tariffs on China that are also going to affect some Amazon orders. So Amazon gets it from there too, I guess. The White House scrapped a tax exemption that allowed small packages worth less than $800 to enter the U.S. without being charged to duty. That means if and when you do get delivered, you might get stuck paying an import tax too.
Oh.
Well, we knew probably that, there's going to be a transition period here where it's probably not going to look like we're really gaining any ground. Well, that's what it sounds like to me a bit.
And a lot of this is going to impact our pocketbook.
Sure.
But I think you have the choice to make it impact your pocketbook or not.
True.
Just like this. If you decide not to buy from China, then
buy
you can
in the U.S. and not have to worry about it.
I think that's the whole goal. I mean, it's like you get sick, you got to take medicine. You might not like the taste of the medicine, or you might not like going through it.
Well, I think people thought that Trump was going to bring prices down no matter what. Don't you think that's kind of where our minds are? Mine too.
Yeah.
Not just
before he even was inaugurated, they said, why hasn't he done anything yet? Why hasn't he brought
and
things
I
down?
don't know what I'm sure you can't just go to the store and go, you're going to lower the price of your stuff. There's a whole I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but anyway.
Well,
there you go.
I think we need it. I think we need it. In this USA aid thing, USAID, whatever it was.
USAID.
AID, yeah. People are complaining that the Doge people shouldn't be in there. But I'm like, yeah, but he's bringing out things that we shouldn't be paying for.
Well, I mean, there were several things that I guess the press secretary hit on, I think, during her press conference that I saw. And, it wasn't anything to do with the U.S. that I could tell.
Here's the way I look at it. If you have a complaint about it, and if you don't agree with it, it's the same thing as okay, send me a piece of paper with all the stuff that's funded and let me check mark it to say I approve it.
Right.
Did we approve any of that?
Heck no, we didn't. They just did it.
And would we approve it?
It's our money.
Would we approve some of the stuff that's
I wouldn't approve some of the ones she talked about. I mean,
no.
I know we need to look after our fellow people. I do, but I don't think. I think we have to look after our country first and foremost, and then we can spread. But our country is so broken.
Yeah,
I think
it's broken. Yeah.
So we got to. I don't know.
I think we
need
need
to start
to
somewhere. And
we need to look at things that benefit things. Should the government be in charge of all this stuff? Should they be in charge? I think we should be in charge of most
That's the problem. They've got their hand in too much stuff.
Yeah. All right.
There you are. There's my preaching for today.
Well, but the Super Bowl's coming up Sunday.
If you want tickets, can you get them?
You can still get tickets. I mean, I thought for sure that tickets were just out of the question.
Were you going to go get one?
No, because I like watching it on television. I get all the angles. I get the end zone camera.
I agree.
I get the instant replay. That's the only reason I would never want to go. If you really want to go to the Super Bowl this weekend, the odds might be in your favor because ticket prices are actually dropping. The cheapest seats went down almost $1,000 over the weekend.
Wow, because they have tickets available and they need to sell them.
Well, this is in New Orleans, so they had that big thing in New Orleans where a lot of people got killed and it wasn't secure, and maybe that may be why
True,
they're
that
doing
may have
it.
impacted it.
It's gone down to about $4,500, and the fancy seats are getting cheaper too. Last week, the most expensive seat was more than $58,000. This week, it's $22,000. So,
if I had the extra $58,000, I probably would have bought tickets. I mean, that probably wouldn't have been how I spent it.
if I had that,
anyway.
if I had $58,000 extra dollars, I wouldn't go anyway.
Right.
I would still watch it on television.
But we are going to go to a break.
We are?
We are.
Oh my gosh.
We need a break.
We do.
I need a break, Dan.
You need a break from me, I'm sure. We're going to do that, and we'll be right back. Guaranteed. Okay. Around the table with Dan and Ann, we are counting down to the last few minutes of our show.
Yeah.
Last few minutes.
Did you know how awesome some band dads are?
No, but I saw that story.
They took down an active shooter at Texas high school. Band student dads.
Uh-huh.
The gunman was an 83-year-old man that entered the school during a band competition, 83 years old. He ended up shooting and injuring one person, and that's when the dads took action. All of them have past military or police experience, so he was up against some experts, and they're being given the National Award for Heroism by the 1 and 5 Foundation for Kids.
That's cool.
That is cool.
And that happened in Texas, huh?
Yeah, in Texas. Faux show. Yeah. Also, airport employees have been arrested for leaking videos of the midair collision with the helicopter and the airplane.
Okay.
And two of them, Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport employees are in hot water. They've been accused of, they leaked surveillance footage of the midair collision last week to the media.
Okay, yeah.
The leaked videos show a clear picture of what happened when the Black Hawk helicopter struck the passenger's jet midair. Both employees have been arrested? And are being charged with computer trespass. So evidently they didn't have authorization to be on whatever computer. I don't get the computer.
But they had access, though.
Evidently, I don't know. There's more to that story, too. And I don't know what the video footage...
Well,
I've seen lots of little clips, but
they need to release that footage.
Well, maybe they did.
Yeah, well, they did release it. I'm sure.
Yeah. Anyway,
we've talked about this in the past, but microplastics in your water bottles.
You probably got a spoon in your brain.
You may have some proof microplastics may cause dementia.
Ooh.
Maybe disposable bottles and plastic food containers are starting to make us lose our marbles because researchers are now finding out that more microplastics can be in your brain, as much as 50% more than in 2016.
That's only 9 years ago.
I know. The scariest part of the study was when scientists from the University of Mexico examined the brains of dementia patients. They found that theirs contained 3 to 5 times more microplastics than the normal brain.
That's a little, if that doesn't wake you up a little bit.
Yeah.
Wow. I quit drinking out of plastic bottles except in certain instances when that's all I have. But I don't think about that so much with my container, with other things that I buy necessarily.
Yeah. And you think, I might as well just drink out of the faucet from now on.
The only way, well, it's not just water bottles though, right? I mean, it's any kind of plastic
anything
container.
That's got, anything like...
And you think how much of your groceries come in plastic containers.
Yeah, Coke bottles, those are plastic. Milk containers.
I eat yogurt because it's healthy. It's in a plastic container.
I know. See, shouldn't do that.
What do you do except grow your own?
Yeah.
Or somehow make your own. Seriously, what are we supposed to do? We're at the mercy of the producers or the.
We are. Maybe they'll straighten that out. You could raise your own chickens and raise your own eggs.
Well, I do that.
Yeah, some people are doing that, though, and they're saying it's not all what it's cracked up to be.
So I've heard.
Yeah. And the high price of eggs has, if they've had you considering raising your own chickens, well, some animal rescue services quickly filling up with unwanted flocks of chickens because they say it's not cracked up to what it is, and it's certainly not cheap. The chickens might cost a few bucks to get them. Actually, they're not that expensive at all. And then when you get them, you have to feed them, and then you got to have a coop.
If you buy layers, it costs money.
Yeah, and then if you got to have a place to put them, along with the setback of at least a couple $100 to get started. In the end, a dozen eggs will probably cost you double, and you'd pay than what you'd pay at the supermarket.
Okay. Excuse me.
Ooh.
You didn't time that very well,
did
we?
Time it out very
hey, it's
well.
National Fart Day.
Okay.
So feel free to let one rip. National Girls and Women's in Sports Day. National Weather Person's Day.
Yeah, I'm a weather person.
National, what was that last? Shower with a Friend Day?
Shower with a friend. Okay.
I'll call my husband a friend and shower with him.
Okay.
World Nutella Day. World Read Aloud Day. And what's this last one?
Cristiano Ronaldo statue unveiled in Times Square.
Okay. There you
All right.
are.
There he is.
We'll be back tomorrow on Around the Table, and the library will be here with their monthly visit.
All right. Have a great day, everybody.